Whoa. This is not at all the look I was expecting. We've gone from Disney to Warner Brothers because this looks a lot like Arkham Knight or something. Hello everyone, and welcome to Bendy and the Dark Revival, the sequel to Bendy and the Ink Machine, in which we entered the animation studio where we'd spent our career, and found that the very ink that had once figuratively given life to these characters now very literally brought something at least resembling them into the real world. They were not happy about it. Now, that game, while very stylistically unique, I really found that it was missing something, you know? I mean, sure, I liked it well enough, and it was decently scary, but there was just a shallowness to it, and I felt like it was missing some vital context to really bring it home. And while it started to fill some of that in towards the end, just as it was getting good, I felt like it ended really abruptly. I wasn't really sure how the decision to do the first series would be perceived, because I kinda always thought that it was seen as sort of a kid's series, you know? Like a horror game that was jumping on the mascot horror bandwagon. But I actually found that it had a much warmer reception than I would have anticipated. A lot of you guys really liked that I was playing it, and you even told me that the sequel is a lot better. So here we are. I wanted to get into this as soon as possible so that my memory would still be fresh. And who knows, maybe with more money behind the project and more time to work on it, we'll see something that's closer to their original vision. Hopefully not like the Disney live-action remakes. Let's go. I'll go for normal. If you visited the studio before, which of course I have.
We're always free to choose. To believe what we want to believe. But when you step back, when you really look at where you've been and the things you've done, your past will come to devour you.
June 18th, 1973.
There you go, little guy. And only 800 more frames to go. No way I'm getting through tonight without some coffee. Probably some downstairs.
I wonder if you were the girl we heard at the end of the credits of the first one. In other words, maybe a young granddaughter of Drew?
Time for a little adventure.
Employee of the month. So we're an animator too. Congratulations on your success. Your best pal, Henry Stein. This is really interesting because the first game, we didn't see what looked like the normal real world until the very end. Now, we're starting off this way. These animations where they belong on the page. Archgate pictures. Dark and stormy night. I imagine that when we're not engrossed in our work, we have to take a moment to look around and realize how alone and sort of spooky this place really is. Yeah, I guess we are a little on edge. underneath an arch. There's an alarm going off. It wasn't performing the best a second ago. It's a little better now, but the mouse movement wasn't so smooth. I think the first game might have had a similar problem.
Really? They locked me in? Good thing I brought my own key today.
That doesn't seem safe. Okay, let's go back. Oh, who's this character? I'm not familiar with this one. Remember, we're drawing from a whole world of existing material, so any little stuff we find could be foreshadowing. Bendy the Demon. Yeah, but we're not supposed to know about that yet. Oh, I just love this style. The light coming through the slats on the blinds, the shiny tiles on the floor. It's the 30s rising up to meet the 70s.
Whew. Here's the key.
And now you're gone. One of the creepiest things about this idea was always the contrast between the smiling faces on the page and the smiling faces chasing us down the corridors. Can we get a drink? None of it's coffee, so I guess we don't care. Every time I pass this window, it's something. Also, now that we're not seeing it in monochromatic vision, I guess the Bioshock style is still present.
Not the most welcoming hallway I've ever seen.
Yeah, you should probably be more freaked out by that than you are. Let's look around a bit.
Is someone there?
I suppose in one sense we received a reply. I can't see anyone. These tiles are bothering me a lot. Like, they make it feel really cluttered, even if there is a design to it. Like, it looks like papers all over the floor. Okay, peeking into the ajar door is probably not the smartest idea. There's a puddle around you as if you were always right there. Just springs open like a trap. Will it close as abruptly? Ah!
Wilson? You scared me to death.
I'm sorry, my dear. Didn't mean to frighten you. You're working late tonight. A pretty girl like you shouldn't be wandering around all by yourself. Mind if I step in?
Of course not.
Thank you. Audrey, you look like you could use a little company.
So, it's been really nice this past week.
Just beautiful. Gorgeous.
What was that? Please tell me we're not trapped in here.
Don't you worry, my dear. It's just a little short in the system. Happening a lot these past few days. No need to fret. Let's see what we can find. Come along now. Old Wilson will protect you.
Did they hire you for your creepiness? Because, to be honest, I'd probably do the same thing. Having one of you guys wandering around at night will keep the late employees on their toes. The voice acting in this is pretty good.
There we are. Just a few more switches to throw. Follow me. It will be perfectly safe.
Could you have found a more unsafe way to use the word safe? Joey Drew. The man and the demon. We didn't hear that language used in the official promotional materials in the first game. Old Joey Drew Ryan. It says here he's dead, as of 2 years ago. Joey Drew was the founder of the studio, and the man who created Bendy, one of the most beloved cartoon characters of all time. In 1929, with the help of his business partner Henry Stein, he created Bendy's first short, Little Devil Darlin', as an early talkie cartoon. As his entertainment legacy grew over the years, Joey's optimism and pioneering spirit never wavered. Starting with just a pencil and a dream, he created this studio. Here at Archgate Pictures, we strive to continue his dream and see Bendy live on. Dreams come true. So this definitively does take place afterwards. I'm not quite sure about our character yet, but I can't help but think to the little girl at the end of the credits of the first one. So what's with all this demon talk? Was that maybe something he started after the end of the first one? The animator's at work. And the company still lives. Is that the Banjo? What am I saying? They're animated characters. Silly Vision. Oh wait, are we gonna get an explanation as to what Silly Vision actually is? Silly Vision is a cartoon format developed by Joey Drew that allowed for animated cartoons to be completed more efficiently by streamlining the pencil and inking stages. By streamlining the pencil and inking stages and allowing for last-minute adjustments to be made directly on the film stock itself. The film was chemically coated to allow for a specially formulated ink to be applied by an artist working on a magnifying table. This allowed for adjustments, action enhancements, or even whole new characters to be added after the cartoon had been photographed. Mr. Drew intended for the format to be used someday to create interactive experiences, where the cartoons could be custom altered to fit the occasion or audience. Live animation, potentially. And well, I imagine the ink was part of that. The dancing demon. The butcher gang. The posters we saw in the first game got darker and darker as we went on. But this takes the cake. I don't know if I like the look of that. I do recognize that. It's a miniaturized version of the ink machine. And these pedestals served as the key the first time around.
Looks like someone's been messing with the exhibits. There should be something on each of these pedestals. Audrey, sweet Audrey. Do an old man a favor and go find them. I'll tend to the power.
I better see those lights flash on when I step out there. Oh, we've got a tool/weapon. Yeah, there, Boris. I still miss you, buddy. There's a record. That's probably the music. Actually, I should probably review just what it is we're looking for first. That was right here. In many ways, this echoes the beginning of the first game, but yeah, I'm definitely seeing the increased production value, and starting in this way, it provides a lot more context to the world we're actually in, you know? And I think one of the biggest problems with the first one was the fact that it just kind of threw us into this, like, animated zany world. It kind of made it hard to relate with our protagonist. Like, we were kind of effectively just the camera. We can probably place the wrench itself here. I guess we're not using it. Let's keep looking around. I know one of the things was a gear, which can be found inside. Let's not worry about whether this is needed for anything else. The Illusion of Living by Joey Drew. I wonder if you didn't really see animated characters all that different from biological ones. There's an oil can. I think there's still one more thing. God, this statue. We also can't sprint, at least not right now. Oh, we're looking for a Bendy plush. But let's put down what we've got. That's the gear, the book, and the oil can. Or ink can, I suppose. I wonder if you would count? Well, we'd have to break the glass anyway. Nope. There you are right there. It almost looks like you're doing a half-hearted impersonation of a wink when we look at you with the bend in the fabric.
Only one thing left to do. Pull that switch.
The one behind me? The one that I'll need to turn my back on you to activate? Well, you're the boss.
It is done.
Wilson?
Oh, Audrey. The things you've set in motion.
What's happening?
The ink is calling us, my dear. Can't you hear it?
What?
Don't fret. We're going home.
Stay back.
Listen to me, Audrey. Pay attention to these last words. Because very soon, you will forget everything.
Let go!
Come find me, Audrey. Come find me, and I'll show you your purpose. I'll show you the truth.
This can't be real.
And now, we die.
What are you doing? Oh no. No!
It's always the ones you most suspect.
What's wrong with my hands? What's wrong with my hands? Oh, Audrey, what's happened to you?
That sound, it's like distant crying. We've been overtaken by the ink. In other words, presumably the same thing that happened to Alice Angel's voice actress. We saw what time did to her. Things are looking like how we remember them. Although I will say that while I didn't necessarily like the visual style of the first one all that much, like I did find it was a little hard on the eyes after a while, this is keeping that same sort of style, but it feels a bit more refined. It feels sharper. It feels like there's at least a little bit more color to the lack of color, if that makes any sense. Not to mention massive lighting improvements, so it definitely looks like they improved in all the right areas. Now, another major change, we are, I guess the best word to use would be infected by the ink. Maybe that could be a blessing as well as a curse? Every great story begins in mystery. Although things may be dark at the start, the truth will illuminate your way. Don't be afraid of who you are. Fear only what you may become, and banish it away. Your best pal. So who is our best pal? And more importantly, is this Wilson anyone we know from before? I truly can't remember all the names we learned from notes in the first one. But maybe my memory will be jogged as we go. Relax. The man who killed the ink demon, Wilson, knows your purpose. He is very important, clearly. Okay, do we need to find a couple of rungs for us to get up here? Oh, wait, look at that. We can search the drawers. It's going to remind us of our condition every time we look down. I don't think this is quite that kind of game, but I couldn't help but think of the pipes from Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. Maybe there's something up here we can use to drain the ink? Or someplace else we can go. Jeez, you'd think I was drowning kittens the way these people are looking at me. I've never seen such disappointment in a person's eyes. But this is the way of things. If management can't pay their bills, then the bank takes the goodies back. Still, it does break me a bit knowing how much I love them old cartoons this place used to make. Oh well, times change, life moves on. Telly Wester. I wonder, are we someplace else? Are we back in the old studio, or is this actually somewhere... Is this actually somewhere else entirely? Hang on, we saw that miniature ink machine in the garage of the apartment at the end of the credits. Is it possible that this is, and always was, not the actual studio itself, but someplace we go after we're immersed in it? Maybe Joey Drew ambushed us with the ink.
Attention, children of the machine. This is Wilson, your friend, your protector. For 211 days, you've lived without the ink demon haunting your steps. I banished him away, tore his body in two. In return, I ask just a little favor. Among you, there is a stranger, a young lady. Bring her to me.
Well, now we're not going to receive the warmest welcome we could. Joey, Jack and I have been wondering if you could meet with us, considering the current situation. We've been with you for many years, and we feel we've contributed to the success of Bendy in the past. Our interest is purely in keeping this company strong. We just want to help however we can. Let's talk. Sammy Lawrence. You should be gone now. So this Wilson is claiming to have destroyed the demon that haunted us throughout the first game. I wonder if that's true or what it really means. Because, honestly, it wasn't even clear if what our protagonist did had any effect. Hey there, peeking out from behind the box. Unfortunately, we don't have either an axe or a Tommy gun to deal with you with. The ink drips. Darkness is spread through this studio. The reaching shadows creep around you. Something hungers for your corrupted flesh. It is close. So very close. It strains to grab you, choke you from behind. You will feel its breath upon your neck. It is close. They claim you're gone, but your presence is still very much felt. One of the coolest things I thought the original did was that everything was sort of a corrupted representation of the characters they were meant to emulate. But the demon itself, the one that was meant to be Bendy, was almost nothing like it except for his signature grin. Oh my god, oh my god! You guys. And something is preying upon you. Oh, look at you. Never has a cartoon X over the eye representing death been so horrific. I almost registered this as actual gore at first. Oh, look at that, we've got a shadow. It's the return of the tapes.
I just received the call. Joey Drew is dead. What a quiet end to an extraordinary life. Last I heard, he was staying in some cramped apartment downtown. You practically hear the rats through the telephone when he called me last April. In spite of that, old Joey sounded quite happy when last we spoke. More like the excited, hopeful young man I knew once upon a time. Well, farewell, my friend. What will become of your creations now?
Well, it looks like you tried to carry the torch. As well as the bags of money, this prince. You can open that and get a gent battery. Bud Lewis, is that what it says? Picked up a memory. creatures stored in the pause menu. Now this is cool. See, it looks like it's setting us up for more survival horror mechanics. I thought the gameplay in the original was like pretty shallow. We had the ability to open up and search all these cabinets, but there wasn't really anything to find. Seems like exploration will be rewarded a bit more now. Okay, well, let's have a look at the menu. A baseball signed by the legendary Bud Lewis. This would make an exciting gift for any young baseball fan. Okay, so just little collectibles for us to get. Also, look, we can see our full character, as well as a stock of the items we can get. Oh yeah, this is gonna be much, much deeper. Oh man, we're actually worse off than we thought. Well, let's get climbing. Now, I noticed before the return of the hidey closets is back. That's a bit of a weird sentence syntax, but you get the idea. Can't take any of this stuff. But we can pull the security override. Hey, there's our ability to run. We're clearly meant to be freaked out by that, but that walk, that swagger, distinctly Boris. There's an interesting complexity here where not all the ink creatures are necessarily evil. Some of them, like the one that hung down from the ceiling, were corrupted, violent, but they were also starving. These things have to consume ink to survive, and, well, they're animals competing for resources. But some of the people who were overtaken seemed to retain at least some of their humanity, and, well, some of the characters were actually a pretty good recreation. But we'll never have another one like the one we lost. Stop. Heavenly toys. We have been here before. We have. Oh yeah, the BioShock influence is still all over this game. As the winds are changing around here, I'm asking myself, Sean, what are you doing? There's a whole world out there, places to see, a family to spend me days with. This here job is just a job. I'll have others like it, no worry there. But the important thing is, we should remember to live. I think it's time I did just that. Sean Flynn. Well, hopefully you got out. Once more, I do not necessarily remember the moment-to-moment fate of each individual. Another gent battery. Should we really be pulling strange levers? Unfortunately, it doesn't seem we have quite the same penchant for clocking in. We could open that, or we could climb this wall here. Run and hide. Okay, way ahead of you. Although, you'll have seen me do this. Hi! Yep. No, I'm good. I'm good right where I am. So, who's our haunting Hummer? I'm surprised more games haven't had, like, scripted locker scares like that. I guess we learned something, though, that it doesn't even matter if they do see us go in. At least, I don't think so. Low on health? Grab a snack. Survival will mean some dangerous situations. When you're low on health, you'll need to eat. Locate hidden food stashes all throughout the studio. In other words, find items to heal. Same stuff as always. Let's see that note. Oh, can we not get up there now? Well, there's a note up there. At the very least, it'll be a way for us to return. Didn't work as planned. So what are we doing then? Is there something I can fix? Oh no, we need to loot this. Good old bacon soup.
Much of that if I were you. It helps patch you up, but the aftertaste, it's not so good. Easy now, I'm not gonna hurt you. Looked like you needed some help.
Don't touch me. What are you? Ugh, what is this horrible place?
Yeah, I remember my first day down here. I know, it's scary. But you're actually pretty lucky. The machine could have turned you into a searcher.
You mean that thing that attacked me?
No, that's a Piper. And he's part of a gang, so be careful.
I don't understand any of this. I can't think. It hurts.
You'll catch on pretty quickly, if you can stay alive. Lesson 1. Searchers don't have legs, and they tend to swarm. Look, it's not good to stay in one place for too long around here. Keep moving, and stay close to the shadows. Take my advice. Head to the upper levels. It's safer there.
Can I come with you?
You can't. I'm sorry. I have a wolf. He doesn't care for strangers.
A wolf?
Like I said, you'll catch on. Good luck. I hope we meet again. Oh, and one more thing. Above everything else, stay away from the ink demon.
What's an ink demon?
Well, you'll know him when you see him. He likes to smile, and he kills anything that moves.
Wait! What's your name?
They call me Alice. I'm not very fond of it.
I'm Audrey.
Well, Audrey, welcome to the studio.
Welcome to the studio, meet up with an old friend. You're our Alice from the last chapter. And that wolf is our wolf, our favorite cyborg. Am I to imagine you sunk down through the grate? This time you seem more human than ink. You got a pair of devil horns, no halo to be found unless we can get that device again. Now we can climb. Don't really like standing too next to this hole in the wall. So we're finally starting to put some names to the enemies. Around here, it's just best to stay out of sight. Don't ever go running into some place if you don't know what's in there. If you attack a problem head on, you're gonna find yourself in trouble, and that's just foolish. You gotta watch, listen. When the time is right, push forward. Your best pal. Suppose that could be Alice, knowing that she's still here. Oh, there's a whole staircase down here. I do wonder how many shared locations there will be. Now I'm starting to think about, like, the change from Bioshock 1 to Bioshock 2. I don't actually remember if there were any shared locations, but I know there were certain things that, were callbacks to the first. Yep. I really kind of wish this hadn't been spoiled by the pause menu. Where is the toy man? I get the feeling in this game we're going to be learning about a lot of characters we avoided only through sheer luck the first time around.
Yeah, so those Gen Corporation boys are kind of strange. Every time I come back to work, they put in even more of their pointless gadgets. Last week, they built some kind of, electrical towers over near Animation Alley. This week, they added security codes for opening doors. Jeez, what kind of work do they think we do here anyways? Last I checked, we make toys and silly cartoons. This ain't Fort Knox, you know what I mean? Now, it's my job to look over these shipping invoices and remember a bunch of random numbers? Yeah, no freaking thank you! I'm just gonna record the door code here so I don't forget it. Alright. The code is 451. 451. And if Mr. Drew or Mr. Gray asks, you didn't hear it from me, okay?
Isn't 451 or 0451 kind of a famous code in gaming? Well, we know it now. Gotta cycle you all the way. Oh, come on. There we go. Now, I'm gonna look into seeing if we can get subtitles during those recordings. So I looked it up, and not only can we not turn on subtitles for those, but there's apparently no way to do it at all. I had no idea how they screwed it up that bad. Let's go. One of the problems I had with the first one was how static the environments were. Not such an issue here. He sees everything. And we're not doing ourselves any favors by drawing attention to ourselves.
It seems that Archgate Studios, in all its misplaced admiration, was so eager to absorb the life's work of that crooked charlatan Joey Drew, they didn't fully realize what they had acquired. Call it fate that I just happened to be there on the loading dock that morning. When the delivery boys dropped one of the crates, it smashed open, and inside there was something truly special. A mass of yellow steel and beautiful rivets. Some kind of machine. No one knew what it was, so the fools put it on display for all to see. But I could tell that this crude device held secrets. Secrets that could be mine.
A machine for ink. So what happened last night was just the end part of what was probably a very long game played by you. Oh hey, the swingy head guys are back. Great, my favorite. Is there anything down here for us? No. locker access. We could potentially do some looting. But until we can do some fighting, I'm kind of averse to going anywhere near those things. Then again, we're probably a bit more agile. Our last character was an old man. Everywhere we go, that smile is looking at us. Oh, we found our plasmids. We can increase our max health or our max stamina. Well, I think in these early stages, stamina will probably be better, but there is a third slot for something that I imagine is yet to come. So we can't just run forever. We've got some gent parts. So I take it this means there's going to be a crafting system. Now, this is something that I've seen more and more in survival horror games, where instead of just finding regular items, you find, well, crafting materials, and I am someone who is normally very against games having unnecessary crafting systems. I used to hate them in horror games, but somebody made the really good point that they essentially allow the game to sort of balance itself. We find all these things, and we can make choices on what we're to build. Bendy stuffed toy, Boris the wolf, jigsaw puzzle, Edgar's duck duck, Bendy Starface stuffed toy. They made only one. If that doesn't feel like foreshadowing, I don't know what is. The next report says they discontinued it. Keys are always good. Unlock maintenance gate. And some bacon soup. But once more, it seems like we don't store it. We just kind of eat it directly. Oh no, are we gonna outlast this thing? Let's push this aside. I don't... Oh, no, I am physically pushing it. Well, that can lead to some tense moments, potentially. I figured something would happen if I tried to get curious. Will something happen if we get more curious? I don't like tempting fate like that. Now, before we move on, if we look at this and check here, can we... Okay, no, as far as I know, there's nothing to actually indicate any missed notes. Okay, hang on. We've had a sudden change in ambiance. Now I'm a little less whimsical and a little more freaked out. It's amazing what you can do with such a simple style. Go away! It's a little monkey thing. Save your game anytime in the pause menu. That feels like a reminder. Where does one do that? Okay, you say that. I'm afraid to click the door icon. So let's wait a little longer on that. Oh, it's these things. These deposited ink blobs. Ink blobs which could be shaped into whatever.
Everyone knows that a happy work environment needs a place where you can sit back and enjoy something tasty. I'm Joey Drew, and you're standing in our grand, expensive new employee break room. My company family always does deserves the best. By partnering with Briar Label and Tasty Bends, I'm able to provide the most delicious treats at a very cheap cost to our workers. Pull up a chair and chow down, my friends.
There's a McDonald's in the studio. Soup du jour, bacon soup again. Cold food, cheese sandwich with sprouts, 15 cents, even for the 70s, that is cheap. I suppose you get what you pay for. Good looking Rio, Andre. We will miss you. Love the kitchen staff. Or rather, love the kitchen staff. So is Andre like a head chef? Chef special. Ami bourguignon? With potatoes and greens. Plates left, sold out. However, there is a rule, no outside food. 15-cent coffee and donuts, wow. Looks like with the right tool, we could bust through the wall. This one doesn't bounce quite as whimsically. But then again, it seems like this entire game is taking a darker, slightly more realistic approach to things. All we've done is fill this place with horrifying ambiance that we can't do anything about. Oh, it's mixed just perfectly to echo throughout this empty space. Can't see much through there. Nor can I loot the register. Although there are still places to hide, not just lockers, but these little miracle stations. I'm still not quite clear on why they were thrown all throughout, unless they really were meant to be panic rooms in the event that that demon came through. No opening that, but we're probably gonna have to go through that wall. There's a couple of new characters about animation department this way. Well, we can go there. Alright, I'm gonna go try and open that wall. We can sprint for a decent length of time, enough to get away from something, but we really better hope that some hiding place is close. Yeah, no, we need a tool. I just ate a potentially decades-old sandwich out of the garbage. Although maybe things don't decompose here, clearly the rules aren't the same. There's another wall, so that's not just a contextual thing. They're a mechanic. Attention, you are about to enter Animation Alley. All tour groups with tickets, please keep to the left side of studio hallways so that our talented team of artists may make their magic without interruption. Thank you.
I'm ready for something different in my career. I've built steel companies from the ground up, dabbled in petroleum, even tried political office once. That Nathan Arch, they used to say. He's got the magic touch. But I'm hungry for a bit of fun, I think. Something both the masses and I can enjoy. My son suggested movies. Open a studio. Now, I love a good film as much as anyone, but the magic of animation, now there's something special. My old friend Joey knew the thrills of bringing characters to life. Rest his soul. Maybe with a bit of elbow grease and a small cash investment, I can resurrect the past.
It potentially was dead and buried, at least as far as a threat. And you brought it back. Or rather, bought it back. I guess that does explain why we didn't hear about you the first time around. You require a gent card. Safe and sound. Perhaps we can find a weapon in there? You can never tell until we're against them whether it's going to be a hiding place or a searching place. Safety instructions. Carefully position your ink collection method beneath the flow nozzle. Do not remove your ink collection method until ink has completely ceased to flow. Clean the nozzle weekly to prevent blockage. Ignore any voices coming from the pipe. Slowly pour any excess ink into drainage pan. These characters were speaking to you, shall we say. So, what's next?
Locked again? This is getting old.
Yeah, that's adventure games for you. I wonder, will this rise to the level of... Probably not to the level of immersive sim. There's probably a particular solution for everything. But it's definitely got that, like, semi-open-endedness of BioShock. We've got a toolkit, but it just seems to be another craftable. As well as more parts.
I know you're out there. Please answer me.
Well, you're the one that seems to be able to appear wherever and whenever.
Hello?
Audrey? I'm so glad you're all right.
Alice. I think you and I have very different definitions of all right.
Where are you?
Animation department entrance? But it's locked up tight.
Good. That means you're heading up. Look for anything you can use to break in. Maybe there's a gent pipe nearby. What was that?
There's something in here.
Audrey, find that gent pipe. Now.
Okay. I thought I did, but that's the progression demands it! Alright, run. Out and around the corner. I can't close that. This way. I need to... I'm just assuming that I need to break line of sight. There was one back here. Are you still chasing me? No, running is enough if we cut enough corners. Is crouching and being stealthy a thing? Stealth was kind of absurdly easy in the first one, to the point where I literally just kind of walked alongside enemies at points. Will things be so simple now? You're gone. Okay, well at least we have something guiding us. My God.
Oh, no. There's the gent pipe. Way too dark in there. Need to get the lights working first.
Don't we always have to? Alright, restore power to the atrium supply. Is there some place we can do that? That pipe's kind of our key to the city.
Who's in there? Open up. If I find you, I'm gonna rip your face off.
Stealth. Best way to avoid trouble is not to be seen. Remain crouched to stay low and keep your footsteps from being heard. Watch your enemies carefully so you may pass through safely. If something detects you, find a place to hide or get away fast. So this has been refined. There weren't really patrolling enemy segments in the first game now. This might not be the best time to do this. You're gonna turn around in a second. Okay, there we go. So, you guys not only talk, but are hostile. Crackers, we can save those.
Missing a fuse. Let's see if I can find one.
Oh, there's always something. game's gonna be full of fetch quests, isn't it? Okay, where do I find a fuse? Where does one even start? Probably in that utility table you were just looking at. Well, you've opened the path a bit. Oh, it's just gonna tell me from all the way over here. I am unsure if I like that or not. On the one hand, it'll likely save me a lot of trouble. You can hide in these things. But on the other, shouldn't I at least have to get close first? Ooh, you can get slugs, which look like they function maybe as currency. Management has come up with a new way to reward us employees. Instead of paying out bonuses or overtime, they've started handing out these little tokens that you spend in company vending machines. Besides that, these tokens ain't got value of any kind. Obviously, a lot of people didn't like the idea. But the best part about the whole thing is that within a week, someone figured out how to make fake tokens that fools the vending machines. We started calling the fake ones slugs. No, I can't remember the last time I've seen a real token around here. Them slugs are everywhere. Probably costing the studio a ton of money in snacks alone. Oh, you gotta love that ingenuity and creativity. I can hear you moving around, though. It sounds like you might be coming back. There you are. That works for me. Now remember, we crawled through a space in order to get at that area with the power box. So it's entirely likely that we can crawl through there and get away from you. I can still hear you out there. I hope you can't hear me.
Kitchen's closed.
You're still going through the motions. Times I could, whoa! I was gonna say maybe I could hide over here. Well, that sucks, that sucks, that sucks. Let's put our theory to the test, shall we? Whoa! Yep! Through here. Oh, I hope this works, because if not, we're dead. Seems like it did. Okay, you're not gonna go away as readily as some of the smaller enemies. Well, let's follow you out. We have no ability to fight you right now. If I go forward on the right, you're just gonna walk right into me, so I'm just kind of giving you a second. This is already more challenge than I ever had in the first one regarding stealth. That probably shouldn't have worked, but I'm glad it did. How about you? Still here? I hear you. How far will you go? Gotta learn your routine. You'll type into the register, get angry at it because there's not been a customer in decades.
What was that? Is anyone out there?
I don't know. Is someone out there? I don't think anybody's out here, man. think you got nothing to worry about.
Where did everyone go? Why don't they answer?
You do for sure retain your old selves. Oh no, can we not go through there? Doesn't matter, we can go through here. We can't close doors though, which would be very useful.
Well, happy birthday to me.
It's like a candle. Did I take some damage earlier? You're locked. You won't open. But we got our fuse. Is it better just to run by you? That's the new question. We can hide in there, but I think it's facing the wrong way. Perhaps we could get your attention by ringing that bell. Like you should. I may have wasted too much time. I can't tell where you are exactly. Will this work? I don't expect this to work. It kind of seems like it's working. Wow, that's really weird.
What's today's special?
You're kind of like a ghost, like a residual haunting. There's a real... what? Wait! Out of everything, that's what you detected climbing out of there? Well, forget this. You're also a lot tougher in the pursuit. And yeah, it seems like before, we don't really need to break line of sight. I can't hear a thing, though. Where's our other buddy? I hear you on the right. Which means we're all good.
Lights are on. Time to get that gent pipe.
I mean, this isn't good news for me. It means this is going to take a lot longer than before. It's going to be a lot more difficult, but it is objectively much better game design than previously. Hey there.
I tried to tell them he was up to something. I tried to tell him.
Are you some kind of security guard? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if each of these guys corresponds to somebody we can identify. Also, I noticed that baton passes right through your leg like Han Solo passing through Jabba the Hutt's arm. Oh, what? You guys will just do that sometimes. Okay, this way. Right here. God, that is really annoying. Into here.
Don't cry at me. I want to die.
If we get that pipe, that can be arranged. Or, well, maybe. I actually don't know how this is gonna work. Our previous protagonist could have made short work of you. In fact, he did in an epic battle. Your little Hooverville. But maybe our character isn't quite made of the same stuff. She might be faster than a fighter. I need you to go back the other way. I can't do anything until you do. And it's so weird how when you really look in at these textures, these are cartoon chain link. But taken as a whole, it's just 3D textures. It doesn't look that way until you closely examine. just come back the other way. This is the part I don't like about patrolling enemies. It's often a whole lot of waiting. But at least that means it'll be a while before you come back.
At the end of every crumbling empire, you gotta hide the treasures. Mr. Cohen brought me in to catalog and secure some of Joey Drew's more special assets in places no one will ever find them. Sure, that sounds completely legal, right? Anyway, I'll be leaving some clues around so we can find them later. Just remember, this nonsense wasn't my idea. So, here's my first little hint. I finally found a use for those silly motivational posters here in the atrium offices. They're sure to make quite an impact. Oh God, I can't believe I just said that.
Why do I find it so amusing, the idea of a complex treasure hunt made by someone who was completely unenthusiastic about doing so? Alright, but impact the motivational posters in the atrium office. The machine must endure. Right, a whole lot of materials. Should be safe-ish for the time being. We're playing with fire, no question about it. First, Gent comes in here and puts thick, heavy pipes over everyone's head. Must weigh a ton. Then Joey opens up the place for tours to the general public. Are we really thinking this through? For Pete's sake, Sammy's music department is constantly flooded. And while I was giving a tour last week, we almost lost a whole dang wall when a valve blew out. Stupid tour group applauded, thinking it was part of the show. I know Joey is looking to drum up some cash lately, but this is just asking for disaster to strike. One good accident, and there's going to be a landslide of trouble. I wonder if you're the one that's walking around out there right now. Oh, but these pipes leak? Never. Gent battery casing. You gotta look carefully because these things won't highlight until we're pretty close. The dark puddles are calling. Let's take it.
At least now I can defend myself.
A weapon of many uses. Your all-in-one tool for surviving many dangers. The Gent Pipe has many useful functions and upgrades once you find the right parts and schematics. But all we do is left-click to swing.
I'm gonna rip you apart!
Oh my god! Okay, she can fight. Ow. But it will come at the cost of a bit of health because these guys don't really stagger when you hit them. We can loot them. We got some slugs from you. Okay, yeah, so this is feeling a lot more like one of its baser inspirations. I wonder if we'll get any lightning plasmid in the near future so we can zap them and whack them. Alright, this opens up a lot to us. Not only can we fight, but we can also knock down some of these walls. Of course, it's still tough enough that we still have reason to want to be stealthy sometimes, which is where you want to be in a game that has both. You still want a card. Whoa! Oh, there's a bunch of them! Oh, there's a bunch of them! One down. Looks like they may be able to damage each other. Did I see a third back there? Some of them just wink out without anything. Some of that bacon soup would be mighty helpful about now. Thanks, ya. Yeah, once more, it doesn't really seem like there's much strategy to the combat. But whatever, I guess it's not the worst thing. Crawl through here.
Well, we hit rock bottom. No doubt about it. And by all accounts, I don't even know how this studio's still going at all. Like, if you follow the money, you just hit a big old brick wall. Well, let me tell you, blank ledgers, spare cash, weird amounts, the plain just don't add up. There's still income finding its way into the books, but I can only tell you for the life of me, I can't figure out where it's all coming from. Though, the obvious answer here is a gent's privately pouring in some funds. And truth be told, they really creep me out. Especially that Mr. Gray. He doesn't seem to be motivated by money. And he sure as heck ain't telling us what he's really after. Just can't trust someone like that.
We've got some shady investors. It makes sense. This thing clearly has more uses than just entertainment. I heard some of the workers down the hall last night talking about storming Joey Drew's office. They were using some colorful language, banging their fists on the tables and chairs. It was the same bunch who whistled at me yesterday. Things must be getting serious. That accountant, Grant Cohen, just walks from his desk down to the men's room and back all day, over and over again, gripping his stomach. Got a grain in the gills. I can't tell if something he ate isn't agreeing with him, or if he just can't take the pressure anymore. Joey's got a plan, he keeps saying. Gent is making something special. I really hope he's right. I may just be a secretary, but this place has a magic I don't want to see end. And that's the thing about this place. By the way, that's by Sally Newt. Remember that name. That's the thing about this whole place. It runs on a lot of goodwill. All the memories that even the people who work here have of these characters. Sure, there's a lot of cynicism involved, but there's also a lot of true believers. There we go. I don't know quite what that did. By the way, Grant Cohen, I imagine, is a reference to Sander Cohen, or whatever his name was from BioShock. And there's how we get through to the restaurant. That Wilson, he's everywhere, yet he's nowhere. I don't know how he does it. It's madness. Madness! What if he's inside my mind? What if he hears my thoughts? Can you hear me now, Wilson? Can you? You won't get me. I've got a plan. If I tear out my brain, then you can't hear my mind. I'll show you. I defy you. All hail the Ink Demon. Hail! He's not dead, I tell you. He will rise again, and his dark revenge will be terrible. I think we now know what the Dark Revival refers to. I really do think that what Wilson's ravings come down to is little more than arrogance. Hey, we don't need the axe to destroy these posters anymore. I wonder if they respawn like before. That could very easily have revealed to see you, but having more escape routes is never a bad thing. Come on, who's out here? I know somebody is. Are there any more of these walls for us to break down? There's one. Oh, that just gets us through here. Yeah, so what did pressing that button actually do for us? That also looks like it's got something behind it. There we go. There's another button. Not that one. That's just something on the wall. Maybe there's another. Like, say, right there? That did something. Ah, that's open now. Huh. Even in spite of our ally, I'm still trained to be wary of anything Alice Angel related. But we can get a whole lot of supplies. A whole lot of supplies, wow. And some plasmids. Okay. We already upgraded stamina, so we... I kind of want stamina more. But if combat is going to be the way it is, then it's probably smart to upgrade health too. They're officially called thick ink canisters. Well, I'm probably going to end up sticking with plasmids. This isn't just a loot box. We're actually getting pretty far. Quiet, please. I don't know if I'll be able to help you with that. Is there something I can do beyond here? That was really weird that we can progress further, but not go through that door, which leads me to believe that there's probably something else. I've been trying to avoid going back to that other guy, but I'm not sure if he's still there. Do that again. Oh, a beating ink heart on the stove. Great. But it doesn't seem like we can jump over. There are things there. No, wait, there must be some way to... Even if we're on the thing, we can't crawl through. Really? That's surprising. This game is doing a thing that I love, but I'm also sort of afraid of for Let's Play purposes, where it seems like there are actually like a lot of secrets, a lot of things for us to mess around with. We can buy for 5 slugs. Oh, we just get like a random... Okay. Yeah, no, that doesn't seem worth it. Wait, is that a different song? Can we cycle through them? All you can eat, 89 cents. I'm not sure what exactly we'd be eating. I know that that guy kept fiddling with this. Voices. I can't tell what it's saying, but there's like screaming. I think I heard the words stadium and crowd. Okay. But what did that do for me? I also wonder if I get anything for smashing these guys. What did I miss here? Alright, I'm already way over time, and there's only so much time I can spend hunting for Easter eggs. So let's just grab this. Is there new stuff here? What? But anyways. Yeah, boop! This is how we solve problems. I would... Oh, the wall is already broken into. There's the override. And there's the river of badness. Gift. In the first game, Alice Angel talked about how awful it is being just one with the sludge, what a gift it is to be an individual. Maybe we're a powerful individual. But those who come from the sludge can be returned to the sludge. Oh, God. Sliders, were you called? You don't have to kill me. Is that true? Banish. The powers of the ink are yours to command. Use your powers to send monsters back to the dark puddles. While crouched and undetected, interact with an enemy from behind to banish them. Banishing also restores a portion of your health. But look, here's my policy, and it's true in life and in games. Anything that makes the effort to communicate that it does not want to be killed, well, will receive at least the courtesy of not being killed without reason. So let's go. We'll try it on somebody else. Would have been really useful when those enemies were patrolling before. Animation Alley. Magic is made. Oh, there's always something between us and the elevator, isn't there? Although, we spent the entire first game trying to get to an elevator, and now I'm not sure it would have mattered. The exchange, where we can create gent cards. Grants one-time access to safe and sound lockers. Here we can exchange our craftables. There we go, we've got one. And now I'm gonna go back and hit that one that was back the other way. Sorry. A lot of backtracking possible. It seems like this game really wants you to take your time, but it's worth it. Probably. I haven't found what's in the vending machines to be all that worth it. And another card is required to open you again. Oh, but what a bounty that is. Let's down the hole of horrors.
That's one leap of faith I definitely won't make.
Find a way across the abyss. You sure you can't make it? Oh, we could have opened this one as well. We still can. Let's move you out of the way. You're really quite heavy. Never anything a lever can't solve. Oh my. Well, that's an issue. 3 of them, at the very least. There you are. Nice. Come on! Come on! Well, you're down, and you're here. Didn't let me do it. Die. Well, who needs stealth, right? I don't know if something's supposed to come up or if I'm supposed to hit a different button or what. But I don't know if I can tolerate having you guys around. The gang's all here. What I don't like is how I heard music that immediately ceased the instant I walked in. Main studio.
Here's where the magic is made. I'm Joey Drew, and our story begins quite literally in one of our many writers' rooms, just like this one. That's right. All your favorite Bendy cartoons are born right here. We circle up our chairs, crack open a cold drink, and toss around dozens of story possibilities. There's no bad ideas here. We've all got something we can bring to the scripts. I myself have been known to spend a lot of time down here with the fellas, tossing in my own brand of Joey Drew magic. It's my job to push the envelope with my big creative touches, and I love it. Yes, sir. You'll always hear endless laughter coming from the writer's room. When it's complete, the script finds its way to our many artists in the art department. You'll be seeing our real Joey Drew Studios team hard at work on our tour of Animation Alley very shortly. But right here, you can see a typical office where characters are being lovingly crafted with very careful attention to details. I like to stand over their shoulders as the artists work their magic. It's my job to catch the little things that make our cartoons really extra special. If I see one of Bendy's gloves is missing his signature 2 dots, I make sure I tell someone. That Joey Drew, they like to say. What a keen eye. Over time, the cartoon is slowly created frame by frame. Bendy begins to walk and dance. It's really quite fantastic. Before long, we have our finished cartoon, all ready for the boys in the sound department to take over.
Well, as for as self-congratulatory as that is, you may actually be quite right about adding your magic. That breaks. I'm already way out of time, so I'm kind of looking for a point to end this. But we've got lots and lots of things. We're in the final days here, I can tell. People are packing things into boxes, tools are going missing. You can smell the panic in the air around the studio. But as Gent Boys, we're just watching from the shadows. We lock the doors and keep our research going. Mr. Gray already gave us a little wink. All is well. When what ship sinks, another one leaves the dock. I just need to keep my ink machine safe in the chaos. It's the key to so many discoveries. Thomas Connor, your ink machine. Our benefactors. There's never anything that can't be solved with a lever, is there? Battery refill. Look at you. You're like what you were supposed to look like. And they're keeping you locked down here? I'm either doing a great thing or a really bad thing.
Bendy? You're real? Oh, this is amazing. It's okay. I won't hurt you. I promise. It's okay. See? I'm your friend. I won't hurt you. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that would happen. I promise. I'm so sorry. Damn it, Audrey. What's happening to you?
We're not safe to the creatures. But that interaction, from what we've seen, at least seemed genuine. Unfortunately, we've made a very bad first impression. This is definitely feeling a lot more like what the first game could have been. We're already learning about as much as we ever did in the first one, and even more. The gameplay, while still basic, is a lot more refined. The graphics and sound are better. It just really feels like it's coming into being. And like the ink is fully resolving after a QA pass. But I think that's all I have time for right now. I can't wait to continue, and if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.